But I'm really not on NATO side. I'm really not in Russian side.
So I finally took a day off work, and of course, once I did, Russia invaded Ukraine. So when I got back, the first thing I did was check out Cardi B's Twitter page to see how she felt about this. And I was not disappointed. So look, tomorrow I'm going to have a deeper dive on this topic. I'm going to bring somebody on the show. This is not my area. I'm one person. I have limited resources. So I have largely ignored this topic up till now to focus more on what's been happening in Canada. But now that this is getting a little more serious, I do want to bring somebody on to discuss what is going on in Ukraine. But in lieu of that, today we have Cardi B. So she tweeted out saying this: wish these world leaders stop tripping about power and really think about who's really getting affected. Citizens. Besides, the whole world is in a crisis. War, sanctions, invasions should be the last thing these leaders should worry about. And this is in reply to somebody saying, I wonder what Cardi B thinks about this whole Russia thing. Now, I'm going to assume this person was joking, but Cardi B generally does have good politics. She backed Bernie Sanders. She's pro human rights. She cares about people. She cares about society. So she actually went on in a video to go even deeper on this to prove that, in fact, it is her, because somebody replied saying, okay, pass Cardi her phone back now. But if anyone knows Cardi B has weighed in on politics before. A Bernie Sanders supporter, that's a good sign of somebody who at least has a good barometer for what they value. So here she is with a quick thought on what's been going on.
The phone is not hacked. It's really me. I actually want to say a lot of things, but I'm just going to mind my business because sometimes I feel like I have such a big platform that if I don't say the right things, I might get killed. But I'm really not on NATO side. I'm really not in Russian side. I'm actually in the citizen side because at the end of the day, the world is having a crisis right now. There's inflation not only in America, but everywhere in the world. It's really hard to get the economy back up. There is so much shipments and embarkments backed up. China's not really messing with us, so a lot of things are behind. A lot of goods are behind, and this shit just made it way more complicated. So I'm just really annoyed by this, and I really wish that all world leaders right now just really come with a logical conclusion. But whatever.
All right, now I gotta say I haven't watched or read any other major celebrities' thoughts on this conflict, if they do exist. That said, this isn't terrible. I mean, you have somebody here who sides with citizens. Apparently, it appears, understands some of the issues with NATO, understands issues with Russia and Putin, and ultimately sides with the people at the center of all this being impacted the most, and that is the citizens being impacted in Ukraine. So that is not a horrible position to have. Now, she mentions there, and I think this is interesting because I think this is why a lot of celebrities maybe don't weigh in on political topics, and that's the potential blowback if they give the quote unquote wrong opinion. So most of that blowback, I think, really is just financial when it comes to potentially alienating themselves from working with certain producers, filmmakers, so they don't want to be out there too public with their stances on various issues, at least when it pertains to I don't know, foreign policy, clearly, but also economic issues. It's easy to be, pro LGBTQ, especially when you're in Hollywood. But when it comes to other certain political issues, like actual political issues and not cultural issues, you do see celebrities, I think, largely shy away from these topics. And that's because I think largely the potential impact on their careers. But she mentions there as well, she's afraid of being killed. Now, I'm not sure how serious she is with that claim, but when you weigh in on certain foreign policy discussions, I guess that threat potentially is there, but they also have a lot of security. They're, largely well protected compared to people who engage in news every single day, on in broadcast form or wherever. So I don't think she has to worry about that. But ultimately, this is somebody who actually cares about people. Now, you're not going to find, a deep analysis on Russia, Ukraine, NATO from Cardi B or any celebrity when that isn't their job. But I don't think it's a terrible thing for celebrities to weigh in on these topics if they do ultimately care about citizens, care about people. this wasn't a completely ignorant take. I think Cardi B largely is one of the better celebrities in terms of their thoughts on these various issues and her politics generally. So it was interesting to see what Cardi B had to say about this. But I'm going to have tomorrow somebody on the show to discuss what is going on, the motivations behind it, what may come next, and we'll get a little deeper into this topic than just a Cardi B perspective. That said, I did appreciate that you came out here on the side of citizens.